the recognized symbol of excellence in collecting podcasts.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio. This is a show where we talk about toys, collectibles, action figures, and all that sort of thing. So if that is what you are into, you have come to the right place. My name is John Sargent.
And my name is Christian McGann.
We have got a pretty fat show on deck as usual. We're going to take it on back to the heyday of kids' meal toys. When times were good, man. They were good. We're going to go over the news for the week like we always do, and then we are going to discuss beloved action figures that we hate. You guys can follow along with the show on Instagram at Mighty Champions. That is where you can ask us questions. That is where you can answer our questions. That is where you can see our toy hunts. You can see our weekly purchases. You can see our finds, our wins, our losses. You can share your hauls with us. You can interact with us. That all happens at Mighty Champions. If you've been listening to the show and you like it, go ahead and subscribe. We see how many people are listening, so hit that subscribe button. And we would also love it if you could leave us a review. That is how the show grows. The show is growing, which we love. We're going global. We got big listenership in Germany. We're huge in Germany. Obviously the US, but yeah, every little bit counts. So if you can hit that review button, that's going to help us spread the word. Send it to a friend. You got friends that like action figures. They want to know about this stuff too.
Or you don't. That's probably more realistic.
All right. Christian, what have you been up to? You find any toys this week?
Man, so crazy that you say that, Jonathan Sargent.
That's not that crazy. We sit down every week and ask you about it. Yeah. It's not exactly a coincidence.
Yeah, we work together and talk almost every single day about the exact same things nonstop. So, yeah. But
funny you should ask.
Yeah, so I've been in a toy, not even a drought. It was just like my compass was pointing in a different direction. And I kind of been telling you, like, kind of weird because I haven't really bought anything, wasn't even really feeling too itchy, and then it just started to hit. It's like it's a rash you can never get rid of. And I've been holding out because there's a couple toy shows coming up here soon. This month, in May, and then I believe next month as well. So I was like, you know what? If I can hold out until where we find some gas there, I'm okay to just save my bullets. Mm-hmm. I'm not really playing the eBay game too much. Here and there I will, but not too much. But anyway, long story short, I believe it was on Friday, this last Friday. So one of the thrift stores that my girlfriend and I will frequent, Texas Thrift, which is here in Austin.
You've had some pretty big wins there.
I've been, dude, almost every time I'm there, I find something. Yeah. I don't always take it, but I absolutely find something every time.
You usually come away with something where I go, I wouldn't have bought that, but Christian would just be fired up on that.
Yeah, and that kind of ties into like a lot of them typically are like kind of the FOMO purchases because I would never buy it most likely anywhere else, but finding it there makes it more like, oh crap, this is crazy. But it's a massive store, and like the influx that they get must be like truckloads and truckloads and truckloads, because every time I go there, it's
where's it at?
It's the Target you go to.
It's over there?
Yeah, like right across the street from the Target.
Like near the Sam's Club?
No, the
one
research. Yeah, like near the gym.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Dang, I gotta start going over there.
Go over there.
Yeah.
Like you will find. I found like this past time they basically have a wall that is about 150 feet long. That's the baggies, like the thrift store special.
Yeah. That's where you get the Star Wars rat tails.
Something like that. Yeah, there was a. There's typically like you kind of have to wade through like plushies. There's Beanie Babies. There's like modern toys, whatever. But every single time you will find something. Okay. It will be vintage of some kind.
I'm over there. So
basically, what we're talking about today, which is like the McDonald's stuff. A lot of that. I found I found a Kenner Batman from the animated series. This time I was going through there. I found an Alien and a Predator. I'm assuming
Kenner?
No. this must have been from the Alien versus Predator movie.
So NECA.
Probably, but they were small though.
Wait.
Which is really weird. They were probably like, I don't even know what the scale would have been. Maybe
They
like,
weren't these.
They were not those. No, they were like smaller. You know, like the Toy Biz small like X-Men
Yeah.
and like Marvel figures.
Yeah.
Slightly bigger than that.
Maybe they were kids' meal toys.
They weren't. They were like they all. I think it was. I'd have to look up the toys for AVP, like the Alien
Yeah.
versus Predator movie. I think they belonged to that because they were these.
I'm pretty sure NECA did all of that.
They probably were. Yeah, they just were smaller scale than any of these. So I had them in my hand for a long time. I was like, he's probably not going to be interested in this.
Or maybe NECA did them and like Mattel or some like Playmates or somebody had it. Like maybe they had two different things going on, like they would do with like movies at the time.
Maybe, but they were definitely like adult figures because they looked exactly like the
Okay.
movie. They were just smaller scale. So I carried those with me for a while, and then I went into, they have like 2 toy aisles, and then they're just overflowing with toys. So you have to like really, really get down in the trenches and look. And there's always something in there. There's like some OG vehicles and stuff like that are typically broken down. Some like a lot of stuffed animals from the 90s or early 2000s. Found a T-Rex from Jurassic Park. I have it.
Oh, okay. I
I
didn't
didn't.
say you bought it.
No, I actually didn't. I was gonna buy it mainly just so I could flip it.
Yeah.
I just decided not to, even though I don't know why I did that. It was $3.29. I have the same one that I paid $20 for. So, you know, pretty wacky. But they have a lot of that. So those are pretty cool finds. And then they are getting savvy. So they have the glass case where they keep things that
yeah.
are like more valuable. So they have like a bunch of vintage t-shirts in the back that they're selling for $140 or whatever.
God, the vintage T-shirt game.
It's annoying.
It
man.
makes me mad.
I think like toy clothing resellers are people that are like right up there that are so annoying. The same way that people who are like souped up Honda Civic drivers.
Your girlfriend's a clothing reseller.
Why do you think that when I go with her, it's just me like just standing at staring at the opposition?
Dude, and you see people, I see people in the gym, right? They're rocking like a 90s wrestling shirt.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, dude, and I'll comment on it, and they'll look down, and they don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They're wearing it because it's vintage and not because of what's on it, and that has got to be one of the, like, worst personality traits.
Dude, so side tangent, Samantha, my girlfriend, she sells vintage clothing, and she also does figure skating. And so we were talking about figure skating, and she was saying it's like it's such a cliquey sport, which I totally believe that,
Yeah.
right? There, she talks about how like some of the girls are really catty at the rink, and they're really cliquey, and like once if like one progresses to a next level, they just no longer talk to you anymore because that's just how it is. And it's like their battle is with themselves, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get that. That sounds like, that sounds sucky to be in, but it's like you just have to stick with your own path. You know what I'm saying? Like playing baseball, it's the exact same thing, man. It's like there's people's egos are going to be so loud. And she kind of talking about how like tricky it is to navigate that kind of within the sport. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, you are also in like the vintage clothing game, and like vintage resellers are 10 times worse than that. Yeah. And I'm like, and they're just about clothes. That's the only thing they can offer, is that they're wearing like a freaking 20-year-old torn pair of pants. There's nothing to be proud of, like without those, what are you, at least with like figure skating, it's like, there's like athletic ability and like diligence and determination to push beyond your
without
limits.
Bringing back Y2K, what are you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, so like personally, just being involved via like third party, just like as a onlooker, whenever I go with her to these things, it's like, dude, man, I'll tell you, if anybody's cruising for a bruising, it's my boy wearing an Affliction shirt, and I'm like, dude,
yeah,
try me.
There's a guy that comes to the gym. He came in wearing a Minnesota college football sweatshirt one time for the team from the TV show Coach that doesn't exist. Not a real team. That show started in the late 80s and ran through like the mid 90s.
Yeah, it's got the dude who voices Patrick Starr.
No,
right?
yeah, he's in it, and,
Yeah.
and Mr. Incredible is Coach.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
And I go comment on it. I'm all, oh, dude, that sweatshirt's awesome. He's all, and I could tell by the way he said thanks. He's all, thanks. I'm all, you don't know what that is, do you? And he's all, no. And I explained it to him, and he was like, oh, I go, you should watch it sometime. Like,
Wow.
and this isn't like, oh, you're on hard times and you're wearing hand-me-downs. That thing probably cost $200. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, Poser Central.
I mean, Poser, but you're the only one who remembers
City
the
Jones,
show,
dude. Like-
Coach. So I don't know which one is more lame. If I'm being honest, but yeah. So anyway, long story short, I'm there at the thrift store, and I'm like, all right, well, let me go check the glass case because they're becoming more and more savvy. It's full of Legos, right? Like they know Legos are just like by the pound. They can sell it like crazy. Anyway, I'm walking over there, and it's flush with figures, and I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Immediately the first two things that I see, two Archer figures. We just did an entire episode devoted towards small soldiers,
Toy Destiny, man.
Intuition, baby.
You're coming to my side.
Yeah, so it literally was like, oh my god! I told the girl behind the counter, I was like, hey, can you open this for me? And then she was just like, kind of looked at me like, what is this guy doing?
Is your
buying
son
stuff?
coming
Yeah,
later?
he's over there. You know what? Let me just buy them now. I'll bring it to him. He's in the car. And so anyway, like it was funny because I told her, she's like, "Do you want them now?" She didn't really speak English, and I'm like, I was like, no, I'll come back later. And so she puts them on a table, and then the whole time, dude, I'm like tweaking
Because they're out.
they're out, and I'm tweaking. I'm shaking. I'm scratching. I'm like, man. I'm telling Samantha, I'm like, we gotta go. I'm like, maybe I should just go buy them now. Maybe I'll just go buy them now. Because I'm thinking to myself, I see like a nerdy dude walk by, and I'm like watching his every move because I'm like, he better not be going over there. But then she's like, well, she took him out for you. She's not going to just sell him if she's holding him. I was like, yeah, I know, but
Anyone can just pick them up, though.
yeah, they were behind a table, like
Okay.
right, they're behind a counter. So, but I'm just thinking, I'm looking at all right, that's a big looking dude over there. He looks like he might collect toys. I'm looking at his every move. I'm like, okay, we're good. And so anyway, long story short, bought both of them. They were $10 each, which is probably like on par to what
Yeah, it's
they
not
would
bad.
be. Yeah, no,
They're in good shape.
it was oh yeah,
Nice.
dude, it's freaking
Accessories?
awesome. No accessories, but
Oh.
I just need the one that I had when I was younger, which is exactly what it was.
Okay, cool.
So I was just like, man, like again, this intuition when we discuss this stuff, it just happens. Like had we not discussed it, would I have found it in the first place? I don't know.
Yeah.
And also, I really didn't even feel like going with her. I just was like, yeah, fine, we can go. I'll just go check the toys when I go there. And it's like, had I not gone, I would have never saw it.
Pretty
So,
sweet find.
Pretty
sweet find.
sick find, yeah.
I had a really up and down interesting toy week. So our conversation last time about Star Wars
Yeah.
and talking about Power of the Force and talking about Holocron, and I kept wanting to go to Holocron and just not. My life has been upside down for like a month, and just not being able to get the time to do it when they're open.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at Star Wars toys online a lot. And I looked into Power of the Force. Like, I really dug in on Action Figure 411 and was like, let me take like a close look at these. And they're just not me. Because they're a little too outdated, like the figure itself. And then the cards are sick, but they're the exact same card over and over again.
Yeah.
So I was like, I appreciate these. I love them. Salute, not for me. And then I'm like, what is for me, though? Star Wars is potentially the most prominent property in all of toys. Probably. Like, they're probably not anything, like maybe just wrestling as a whole. But
Yeah, wrestling or TMNT, something like that.
something
Yeah.
like that. But like Star Wars is freaking up there. So I went through everything. I looked through the Kenners, and I was like, nope, they're just like too dated, too expensive in the aftermarket. I wasn't there. It's not my thing. I went through what they call the 30th anniversary, which is like if the Power of the Force had continued sort of thing.
Yeah.
Sick cards, great display. The likeness is so bad. So bad. The people, like the humans, Luke and Han and stuff, you're just like, well, who even is that?
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do it. Too many problems because like nostalgia's not there to overcome the problems, right? I went through all of them, everything that exists, at least that I saw in Action Figure 411, And then I was like, okay, well, what is it that I want? What do I want? Black Series doesn't do it for me because I came to the conclusion Black Series are MCU figures. Black Series is a figure of a person. It's a replication. They're flat. They're a very accurate representation of the movie that they're displaying, but they don't come off like a toy to me. You know what I'm saying? Some of the new ones that we've shown on the news do, but historically, no.
Yeah, I mean, if they're a Mandalorian wearing a helmet,
then
they're toys, right?
Yeah.
But when they're freaking
But
Billy
even
Ray
still,
Cyrus or whatever the guy's name is, it's
Darth Vader doesn't come off like a toy to me in the Black Series.
yeah,
He looks like a statue. It doesn't look action.
yeah,
It doesn't look like a toy because the proportions are human.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. There's something lifeless in the Black Series to me. So I started thinking about it and I thought of something that I am calling a trifecta. And this is what you have to use in the absence of nostalgia, right? Because nostalgia blinds us. Nostalgia will tell me that Hasbro WWF figures are awesome when in fact they have 2 points of articulation and an action. You know what I mean? But I was there, so I love them. They're beloved to me. And if I was there for Power of the Force, I would feel the same way. I would just overlook the stuff that I don't like about them. So here's what you need in order to overcome a lack of nostalgia, or for a new toy line or whatever. It has to have articulation. It has to have likeness, and it has to have toyetic design. All three. Because all Star Wars toys that exist only have 2 of the 3. Any 2 of the 3, but only 2 of the 3. All of them. So they can't overcome the lack of nostalgia for me. So that was like okay, what I want doesn't exist. I just have to wait it out. I'm just not going to dive into it unless it checks all 3 of those boxes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even the ones that I posted on at Mighty Champions the other day, I think they're called Action Verse.
Yeah.
Which are like the equivalent of those little Marvel figures that we have on the desk.
Yeah.
They're
They're sick.
$10.
I was looking at them the other day. They're cool.
Awesome because because they have a toyetic design.
Yeah.
Vader looks like a bodybuilder with like big hands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're not articulated.
Right.
So it's like they're cool, but you couldn't do figure photography with them. You know what I mean? Like if you were a kid, you'd be fired up on those.
Exactly.
Like I think those are going to be huge for kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I kind of came up with that trifecta. So
it's pretty smart. There's something there. There's something there, like a patent idea of again, ties back to one of the other episodes we had of Inside the Mind of Toy Collectors. And that's sort of part of the, psychology element of it, of like why you are not connected to that thing.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. So like you always say, your thing finds you.
Yeah.
And there's just not Star Wars toys that exist that have ever found me. And I've forced the issue, no pun intended, 3 times now to be like, I gotta collect Star Wars, and bought some stuff and then sat with it and went, I don't like this, and dumped it. Like Star Wars toys just haven't found me.
I mean, you kind of explained it already in the last episode where you said that it was just like you didn't care about them until way later.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you didn't care, like they're going to be the most influential when you're young. That's why.
And so that's why I've got to have the trifecta in order to overcome a lack of nostalgia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did not come out empty-handed this week. I actually had a big week. Big Bad Toy Store had a massive sale on Super 7 stuff. All Super 7 stuff. So I went into the TMNT section and I got the Ultimate Mousers, which are basically kind of just filler for my display because it comes with like 5 Mousers, pizza, some more size walkie-talkies, and a canister of ooze, which is actually like awesome to have in the display. Like that's huge. And then I also got a battle damaged foot soldier.
Nice.
Which is pretty rad. So I think I want 2 battle damaged foot soldiers and 2 not battle damaged foot soldiers, but they've got to be on sale.
Nice.
Because they're filler, fodder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not paying full price for these because the Super 7s are somewhat expensive when they're not on sale. Then I also took a trip to Target and happened to find my what I've been hunting lately, which is Mr. Fuji. who is a legendary manager type. He's actually a manager for Demolition and a bunch of people, but he's like a classic 80s bad guy manager. And he has the Build-A-Figure legs for Mr. Bob Backlund, which I don't know if I'm going to try to chase that or not, but happy to have Mr. Fuji through the door. I also got the Ultimate Edition Bray Wyatt, which Bray Wyatt is probably the very least I can like a wrestler and buy their figure. Like, itchy, FOMO, you just make the cut. You just make the cut. He happens to get into my house in an era where I took down my extra wrestling display because I was tired of picking it up. So I don't know this is going to just have to stay in the box until I figure out a display option to put these wrestling figures back up where I'm not having to pick them up every day. It was just honestly getting on my nerves.
I mean, now you have a whole open space.
To do something else with?
I think so.
No, I mean, what am I going to do with 50 wrestling figures?
I mean, that's just going to stay empty and open?
No, I'm going to get the risers that I had were a spice rack that were bumpy.
Oh,
because they were meant for like the bottom of a shaker or whatever to like have traction on that.
Gotcha.
But they would make it so that wrestlers' feet wouldn't stay flat and they would just fall over constantly.
Gotcha.
Bad advice from my damn toys. And so I just need to get, like, this turtle display has just an acrylic riser. I just need more of those.
Gotcha.
But they don't really make them on two. So this one that you're looking at is 3 levels, and I just didn't build it all the way.
Gotcha.
So you're kind of paying for stuff you're not using. So I need to find ones that are just naturally 2.
Yeah.
Then I can put the wrestlers back up and hopefully create more space that way as well.
Yeah.
I also got from AEW Jazzwares, potentially the last thing I'm going to buy from AEW Jazzwares. Stay tuned for the news. Running hot, the Outrunners, the youngest men alive, covered in sports gloss. Oh my God, these look absolutely amazing. I've been trying to find the time to unbox this 2-pack every day this week, and I just haven't had a chance to. I cannot wait to sit down and just enjoy the process of this beautiful package from the Jazzwares Vault, and like millions of accessories. Not millions, like 12. And just like enjoy the unboxing of that. So I did get a bunch of stuff through the door this week. Took some stuff down. A lot going on in my toy life right now. All right, should we talk about kids' meals?
Let's do it.
To fight evil, Spider-Man will go anywhere, anytime.
A superhero's gotta do what a superhero's gotta do.
Whoa, Spider-Man!
Sorry I can't hang around.
Because the action's at McDonald's. Take a break with a hamburger Happy Meal for just $1.99. There's Spidey, Spider-Man characters, and hot cars with cool moves. One with every $1.99 hamburger Happy Meal you buy your kids.
Spider-Man, I just saw Scorpion in the drive-thru.
Have a nice day.
All right, drive-through fast food kids meals. Do they do them still? Like here and there, little special things?
They do. And
I know when I got a Halloween bucket from McDonald's like 2 years ago, it was absolutely crap.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the world that we live in, just to tie it back into the thrift store, it's like everybody's becoming savvy to playing off nostalgia or playing off the resale value or creating scarcity to drive demand, right? McDonald's is guilty of that as well. Doesn't really work on me, which I think will tie into the other segment that we talk about too, because it's all interrelated. But McDonald's will do like crossover type stuff. It'll be like, I don't know, Hello Kitty, Ninja Turtle crossover type things. Or they'll do like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Hello Kitty or something like that, right? Like, and then adults will basically go and try to buy up like all of them, to where I think even McDonald's will be like, we're going to try to limit that to maybe like 1 per person or 1 per car or something like that. And then people, again, try to go and resell them on eBay or whatever. And yeah, so they do it now, but it's mainly just like, how can we do this? Because like if you go there and it's like, oh, like Samantha will tell me like, oh, I tried to go get the whatever, and you know, it was sold out already. Kind of like the popcorn bucket thing, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of on board with the popcorn cup. Jesus, the popcorn. the popcorn bucket thing, because that's like a new thing. Do it however you want to do it. You know what I mean? But when they re-released the Halloween buckets, which I was all about when I was a kid, and I went and got one. Like, my girlfriend did not want to eat McDonald's. I made her go to McDonald's with me so she could get one too. And I was like, we're going to McDonald's. Like, you're going to eat McDonald's. I can't wait. And like, the plastic was thinner. The bucket was smaller. It didn't have a lid. And I was like, what the frick, man? Like, it was just so disappointing.
Yeah.
So we're taking it back to when times were good. Times were good, man. So I am using, on Instagram, there is an account called Action Figure Checklists. This account is phenomenal. It's run by William, who does an awesome job with like the graphics and stuff. Doesn't just pertain to kids' meal toys. It's action figures across history. Basically anything that we talk about. He posts like the T2 Kenner figures all together and then tells you when it came out and who was in it. Basically the stuff that we talk about in a visual form. And it's, you know, across time and space. Everything that we're into, it's on there. So I'm kind of using it as a little bit of like visual aid for myself here and as just like kind of research for going back. I scrolled back through his page back to like 2023 of his posts and didn't even scratch the surface of the amount of just kids meal toys I was looking for. So partly I'm using memory and partly I'm using action figure checklists as a database here. He also was nice enough to send me his top 5 kids meal releases.
Beautiful.
So at the end here, we'll go through William's, he's an expert.
Yeah.
In the field, so we'll go through his top 5.
I would consider myself more of a fast food expert.
Yeah, the food itself.
Yeah, the food itself. Yeah, man, you know, to kind of, it was weird. So when we thought about this the other day, about this we wanted to talk about, I kind of was thinking back. I was like, okay, which ones do I remember? And then I realized, I was like, man, you know, like, McDonald's for us when I was young was just like, it was really a treat. It was never a consistent thing that happened all the time. Like, that used to just be the place where it's like, all right, we're going to take the kids to McDonald's, we're going to go play in the play pit, whatever. It was more rare for us. Like, it just wasn't a thing that would happen all the time. And it was weird because my parents would be like, oh, well, like, just that's some bad food and we don't need to eat that. And it was like the reason why I could never get a soda. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I'm like, well, then why did I get up to 310 pounds? Like, and you know, I'd see what my mom would be like, hey, make sure you throw some butter on that. You know, like it was just like all our meals were home cooked, but they were just like super high calorie warfare. You know what I'm saying? So it is funny. But to kind of bone up a little bit on my kind of like, or just refresh about a lot of the McDonald's toys, dude, I had like 4 or 5 mysteries solved in my brain of like, holy crap, that's where that was from. Holy crap, that's where that car came from. Like, that's where that Hulk was from. That's where that Storm figure was from. I never knew, or at least I remember the toy. I don't remember the experience, whatever.
Connect it to where it came from. Yeah, I had a handful of those also.
Exactly.
So my experience was a little bit different because I was a McDonald's kid, right? Because my dad would pick me up from daycare, and every Friday was like a special day because this was the process. Pick me up from daycare, then take me to the video store. I was allowed to get 2 movies. You know how connected my life is to movies, right? That was just like, those are core memories. The movies and just going, right? When we left the video store, the next place we went to was McDonald's. All right, and they were a little bit far away, like at least like within town. They were a little bit far away. And I remember he would always be listening to 680 KNBR sports radio, and they would be talking about how god-awful the Golden State Warriors were. So if you ever hear me talk about the current Golden State Warrior fans and how they don't deserve to be fans because they weren't there for the bad times, I was there for the bad times. And we would go to McDonald's every single Friday without failure. So I was a kids meal
connoisseur.
I was rich in kids meal toys. But even going every single week and getting all the ones we're about to talk about that I just like loved, I'm looking at these action figure checklists posts and I'm going, how frequently do you have to go to get them all? because I had one or two maybe of every wave.
Yeah.
Because they were also creating like a scarcity. You would have had to have gone 5 consecutive days or 10 consecutive days, sell the repeats or whatever. You would have genuinely had to collect. Like, this would have been toy hunting the way that I do it now in stores.
Yeah.
Which is how you get up to 300 pounds. Like, if you were really trying, but only kids would have been after them at the time. Really.
Exactly.
So, like, the model is kind of interesting.
The model is interesting because it's the same model as we have today. It's just now everybody knows the model. Like, everybody's aware of it. Back then, you just didn't think about it. It was random.
There was one or two that you really wanted to get.
Yeah.
And if you didn't get it, you just sort of moved on with your life.
You kind of just were like, darn it. I
Yeah.
guess to me, it would always exist in like whatever toy wasn't at the Walmart in my hometown.
Yeah.
If it wasn't at Walmart, it was just this thing that sat in the clouds, just untouchable, and just maybe one day, you know? But it was never, I don't know, like I never thought to myself, like I gotta catch them all.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't ever remember. There's one thing that I'm really excited to bring up in this conversation. There's one that I was like, I need all of them I can get my hands on.
Yeah.
I'll just talk about it now. That was the VHSs.
The
of-
Disney VHS?
No. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle VHSs from Burger King.
Burger King.
And that was what switched me from a McDonald's kid to a Burger King kid. It worked. Their marketing worked. It said Burger King Kids Club on the cover, like the slip cover of the VHS. This is me putting in a request to Action Figure Checklist. Do a post about these VHSs. I remember having the one with the purple cover. I don't remember what the episodes were, but I remember that one specifically. I think I had 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 of them or whatever there was. I haven't seen a full list, so I don't know what there was available. But that got me to start going to Burger King, even though I thought the food at Burger King was far inferior.
Big
Like
time.
far until later on, and we'll get to some of the ones in like the later 90s where I had a friend, Burger King was his preference, and you just kind of do what your friends want to do. And I was like, yeah, I love Burger King. It was also walking distance, so that helped. But what were some of the ones that you were like, vivid memories of these ones?
So probably just after kind of refreshing and watching, there was a Hulk one that just hit so hard.
Burger King, Incredible Hulk, 2008.
No, this was one from, I want to say it's like 1996.
Oh, there would have been
McDonald's.
the cartoon Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, where you push his
Okay.
torso down and then he like launches up.
Okay, I did
no
not-
idea. I was 4
Okay.
in 96.
Yeah.
So, but I remember that one. So I saw that today and almost fell back in my couch that can't go anywhere. So like that one was like probably the most prominent, the one that I think I began with.
Yeah.
I mean, the timeline is so weird because like looking back, you the only thing you can say is I had that. You cannot point we were going to do this unless there was other significance
Yeah,
that
you're
happened
just
in that
getting
day.
something to eat.
You're just getting something to eat. And it kind of even told me, I was like, maybe we did go more than I thought we did. It was like a special kind of scenario when we did go to McDonald's. We were also poor, so it was just like,
Too poor for McDonald's, damn.
dude,
Back when that was the other thing I noticed about, because I don't think I told you about this. I told some other people about it. 2 weeks ago, I think, you told me that you had McDonald's. And I probably said something negative about it or made fun of you or was like, ugh. I was like, why would you lower yourself to these standards or something along those lines, right? 4, 5, 6 days later, I'm just sitting around and just the siren call of McDonald's French fries just gets me up, and I just went to McDonald's, which I do not do. I do not do that. And my body was operating on its own without my brain. And I went and I got 10 nugs, 2 QPs, and it was
2 quarter pounders?
yeah.
That's some shame. Yeah.
Dude, it was like $27.
Yeah, that sucks.
I was like, what the hell is this?
throw some fries in there while you're at it, man.
Yeah, I'm never
Dude,
coming. They made me pull up, which was like my least favorite thing when I was a kid,
Yeah,
too.
it sucks.
Oh,
That
it's just
sucks.
the worst.
See, I love McDonald's. I think McDonald's is still gas. And, like, I went because it was like, all right, it's post-baseball game. I kind of justified it as, like, I did a lot of running, right? I was trekking around the bases. I was playing first. I was doing all kinds of stuff, right? So for me, it was like, all right, I'll just stop. It's the last thing. It's open right now, whatever. But McDonald's is clutch. Like, it's just as clutch at the end of the day,
I
right?
didn't enjoy the experience. And so I mentioned this story to somebody else this week, and they go, well, at least with McDonald's, you know exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And I said, that used to be true. My fries were unsalted. Like,
Yeah.
it was not good. I'm like, man, it doesn't hit any kind of, but there's something in my DNA from those Fridays. There's something that remains a part of my chemistry that once every 2 or 3 or 4 years, I just activate like the Winter Soldier and stand up and go to McDonald's.
So I will say, like, this needs to be talked about, and maybe in history books in 30 years we will talk about it, right? About just like the evolution or the de-evolution of the restaurant experience post-COVID, right?
Yep.
Obviously not to get into that type of stuff, but it is really fascinating because it's like, okay, well, some restaurants are just now 24/7, like they're reopening as 24/7, but then that went away. And the idea that, like, has McDonald's always been inconsistent? Because I don't remember being inconsistent, but now it's like, oh man, this McDonald's was good.
Yeah.
You're like time stamping a good McDonald's.
Right.
And like the one I had, again, being at 10 p.m. or whatever, because I think that may have been what you said. I think you were like, oh, was it sucky because of like it was late at night? And I was like, no, the fries were actually hot.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Just not my thing now.
I think also, like, for me, McDonald's also kind of has like not only just the nostalgia bit, because there are times where I was like, dude, it smells like McDonald's from the 90s out here.
So you bring me to a point that I've brought up a bunch of times
Yeah.
on the show. The one that stood out to me the most, looking back at action figure checklist here, McDonald's Batman Returns 1992.
Okay.
That started me as a collector. That was where the Batman collection as a kid that I've talked about, that was in a thing like this hutch here, that's where that started. And that white Batman Returns logo that you see on stuff, mostly McDonald's stuff, but like I think the Kenner Batman Returns has that white logo. That logo smells like French fries to me.
Oh, that's right.
That logo makes me salivate. It gives me the fries that you think you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Is what I start thinking about.
Interesting.
And in that display, that was also the cups.
Oh, the cups.
That was also the cups, the pens. So they had Penguin Cup, Batmobile Cup, Batman Cup, Catwoman Cup, Penguin Cup, Bruce and Selina Cup. There was also the Batman pen, Penguin pen, Batmobile pen, Catwoman pen, Frisbee lids to the cups that were Frisbees. And then also the little push cars, Catwoman, Penguin, two different Catwomans and the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Those, I think I had like better than half of these things.
Wow.
And just, yeah, like I said, like that's powerful nostalgia for me, is that Batman Returns McDonald's like 92. That's my Fridays at frickin' McDonald's, bar none, like days.
Wow.
Powerful stuff right there.
Dude. God. So good, man.
Some of the other ones I remember really, really well is the McDonald's Spider-Man.
Yeah, dude.
1995, which is, I think, like right at the beginning of the show, or maybe
Yeah.
like a year into the show. So you have Fliphead Peter, Mary Jane with clip-on fashions, the Amazing Spider-Man, which is like you have Peter and then you have Spider-Man.
Dude,
and then
this thing right here, I'm pretty sure this is what you're looking at. That,
yeah,
dude, that
yeah.
was biblical.
the Dr. Octopus. The Spider-Man animated series Doc Ock is like one of my favorite just character designs. I know it's dumb. Like
I love that design.
I recognize that it's dumb.
Chili bowl with that, man. Like, God.
I just love it. And then the cars too, the Scorpion, Venom, Spider-Man, and the Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Because the Spider-Man reminded me of the early 80s first ever toy Spider-Man in a buggy, in a car, in a van, in a helicopter. So like it just kind of gave me those vibes. Like big shout out to Spider-Man from McDonald's, dude. Some of the just like the other ones that I just like remember is like Simpsons at Burger King, Street Sharks from Pizza Hut.
Whoa.
Yeah. Let's see what. Oh, dude, another big, powerful nostalgia. What year is this? 1992. McDonald's Tiny Toons. You're probably too young for Tiny Toons,
I remember them, yeah.
but like, man, that same TV, the infamous TV that I saw George H. Bush get inaugurated. I saw the debut of Batman, the animated series on there. I saw Ernest Scared Stupid on this TV, and primarily what that TV had on it was Tiny Toons.
Wow.
Or X-Men, the animated series. But lots and lots of Tiny Toons.
Paul Dini, famous from Batman, wrote a ton of the Tiny Toons episodes.
Yeah, a lot of crossover between that and the Batman show. Also, Burger King, the Superman animated show.
Oh my god!
And some bangers in that.
Bangers! Holy crap, dude! You're unlocking vaults in my brain as we speak.
Dude, get on Action Figure Checklist. It's like it just was steamrolling me with nostalgia to go through these things. I also realized I need to take a closer look at these Space Jam figures that I like bought on FOMO and was like, oh, they're crap.
Yeah.
Because I looked at them on Action Figure Checklist, they'd never had the numbers painted on them. So they might actually be in pretty good shape. I didn't even take them out of the bag. I need to look.
Dude, yeah, I was wondering where those were at.
They're just in a bag because I looked and I was like, oh, these are crap. And then I just kind of threw them off to the side. I need to take a closer look. Space Jam. Oh, 1989 McDonald's Chippendale Rescue Rangers. You know about that?
No.
Dude, that was big time for people my age. And they had all the like characters in little like vehicles and helicopters and stuff.
Man.
You know Chip and Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had their own like show. And one of them's dressed like Magnum PI and the other one's dressed like Indiana Jones. The Beetlejuice cartoon, Burger King toys.
Wow.
I didn't love them, but I'm looking at them and I'm like, yeah, those were around. Like a lot of these, I'm like, they were just around.
Yeah.
You'd go to somebody else's house. Like I think anybody listening to the show probably can remember this concept or this phenomenon. You will too. You go to someone else's house and you're playing with some kid that maybe is not even your friend. You're just the same height. And they have a box, a chest, whatever, and it just has toys in it, but not like the top guys. It's like the rest. And there's stuff in there that even like as judgmental as you and I are about like other people's like, like why do you have a modern Marvel Legend? When you were a kid, you thought that too. And that thing that for me that I was like, who on earth would want this is, let me find it. I built it up. Now I can't find it. The Fraggle Rock McDonald's toys from 1988 were in every one of those toy chests.
That's hilarious.
I can vividly remember the little cookie wheels on the
yeah.
carrot car being in every one of those loser kid toy chests.
I mean, look at that toy. It makes sense.
Like I saw that thing and instantly got taken back to that DNA feeling you have as a kid when you're not at your own house.
Yeah.
There's a physical thing that you feel, good, bad, or whatever, when you're somewhere you're not liking the vibes or whatever, right? And this Fraggle Rock carrot took me back there.
That's so crazy.
Like, what is this?
Dude, that is so funny.
Yeah, the X-Men that you're talking about from Burger King, 1996.
No, actually. I'm
they
talking
have
from
to be.
McDonald's. McDonald's had a Marvel, like based off of the cartoon or whatever. There was Spider-Man. There was like some X-Men. Hulk, and then I want to say The Thing and Human Torch.
Really?
From McDonald's. And the Storm is the one that I was like, whoa, because she's like half her body and the rest of her body is like a
she's
vortex.
a tornado.
Yeah, like a tornado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember those.
Yeah.
Some of the other ones that are just like big heavy hitters is the branded the Nuggets.
Dude, the McNugget
The Nuggets
buddies
with
or
eyes.
whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
those are funny, dude.
The Transformer ones that's like a McGriddle that transforms
Yeah.
into a little robot.
That's-
like
yep.
that line. All those like kind of ones. Another one that was like in everybody's house and is big for me is the Looney Tunes KFC cups.
I had no idea KFC had toys.
So they're like mugs. They're like plastic mugs.
Crazy.
that are the heads of the characters.
Never seen it before in my life.
They were everywhere when I was a kid. I guess these are 92 and then also 95, and they're made by Applesauce, which is not a company I even knew existed until I started looking into Looney Tunes.
Wow.
Okay, here is what I want from you. I want your top
Okay.
spot, right? Your top meal, doesn't even have to be from that spot.
Okay.
Your top toy line from wherever, and then top dessert.
Okay. So, the top. You said the top fast. What was the number
The
one?
top spot,
Top spot.
the top joint, like
Still
which
McDonald's.
which encompasses the food, the playpen, the vibes, the energy, the music, the smell,
Yeah.
the convenience, the everything.
I would say still McDonald's. Like Pizza Hut back in the day was goated, but Pizza Hut was like the video game plug. I don't really remember toys being at Pizza Hut. It was more of like
There's a few of them on here.
Yeah.
Land Before Time,
Crazy.
dinosaur puppets,
crazy. Yeah, see, that must have been like a little bit before
big
me.
X-Men giveaways from Pizza Hut.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Man, we lived in good times.
Just that, like, my fat nerd brain right now, like, you can probably hear I'm, like, fired up on this. You get food and toys,
That's
bro.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, and you got a place, right? You're climbing through tubes.
My McDonald's didn't have a playpen, and I was always envious of the places, the kids that did.
So our McDonald's in Bastrop went through like multiple changes. Same thing with the Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen at one point had the most cool, freaking awesome like setup, and then one day we just showed up and it was gone. So maybe one of those things where like a kid fell or something like that, and they just decided to rip it out. But and it was like a play ball pit, like that was a thing. And then they realized like, I don't know. I remember hearing at a young age they were like, "Oh yeah, we pulled the ball pit because like some kid got pricked with a needle or something
Whoa.
like that." It was like maybe an urban
That's
legend
intense.
or like whatever.
Yeah.
But McDonald's is probably
So
gonna be
McDonald's
like
is the top spot.
top spot. Yeah.
Okay. Top thing on the menu anywhere.
Hmm.
Like one thing off the menu that isn't a dessert. Like best burger, best fries, best nugs, best chicken sandwich, best whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
It's
just
like-
gonna go with the fries. Like, I feel like the
McDonald's
fries are
fries?
probably what actually shapes the
Okay.
United States of America.
Toy line.
Toy line. This one's really, really challenging because, like, I like was trying to go back and figure out like which toys like stood the test of time in my brain from a fast food place.
Yeah.
Number one, like Godzilla 1998,
Yeah.
like from Taco Bell.
Yeah.
The X-Men Evolution from Burger King that came with a DVD,
Yep.
and the Lightspeed Rescue Power Rangers
From where?
from McDonald's. Like those are all kind of competing for themselves. I would say like the one that probably hit the hardest, man, that's tricky because I'm trying to think about playability.
It's hard. It's hard.
The Batman animated series one from McDonald's is
yeah.
pretty
Oh, I
amazing.
can't believe we didn't mention those. Dude.
That one is
Batman on the
amazing.
motorcycle.
There's one where he's just like a figure. He has no
Yeah.
articulation, but it's
Yeah.
like that's still perfect to me. Like I would have played with that into oblivion, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe the Lightspeed Rescue from Power Rangers may have been the one that
Okay.
kind of just like hit real hard.
I'm going current day, or if we're talking fast food place, I'm going In-N-Out.
Oh yeah. Well, you're
Because-
from California, so
Yeah, because I just like it just hits so hard. It's just
Yeah.
like I love it. But if we're going the places that for this
I'm doing nostalgia based. I think.
nostalgia based for this conversation, I would have to. If it's 1989, it's McDonald's.
Yeah.
And there's literally no debate.
Yeah.
We also had an A&W in my hometown when
Yeah.
we first moved there, and that was like a different category. That's like what we talk about now. What Five Guys is in its own category of like erase your calendar because you're not doing anything for the rest of the day. A&W was that.
I'm gonna side tangent. My one and only A&W experience was probably like 15 years ago. Maybe a little bit. No, it was probably like 10 years ago. No, it's got to be maybe like 12.
Tell the story, bro.
Dude. So for some reason, I'm like, all right, I'm working at the time, right? It's like for like first couple years of my first job. we go to an Austin Toros basketball game, right? Which was the G League before. Now it's like the Austin Spurs or something like that.
Yeah.
But they were the Austin Toros. And I went there, and I specifically remember wearing a pair of shorts. Again, I was 300 and something pounds at the time, okay? And I was wearing a pair of shorts, and there's a thing that I coined, and I'm putting it out in the world officially, called Fat Boy Slice, all right? So when your shorts or your pants or whatever are too tight, and they're hanging on for dear life, and they're digging into your side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Your underwear band flips over.
It flips over. The shorts is slicing in, man. It's slicing in, getting the Fat Boy Slice. So anyway, I all I can remember from that night is just like how small those seats were and how bad the Fat Boy Slice was cutting me up, dude. And then we went to A&W afterwards, and all I could think about was like the Fat Boy Slice. And I took a bite of like some jalapeno there, and it was just like, this night sucks. Anyway.
So yeah, my top place is McDonald's. My top food item, McGriddle.
Interesting.
Dude, I
Kind of an unsung hero.
love a McGriddle. It calls to me to this day. I pass a McDonald's on my way to work, and there's twice a week where I just think, nobody would know. Just nobody.
You would smell it on you. The syrup.
Yeah. I've never done it.
Okay.
I would admit to you if I had. I
Yeah.
haven't done it, but it calls to me still. Top toy, I'm with you. If I have to choose between the Batman Returns and the Burger King TMNT VHSs,
Yeah.
like, you're just gonna have to put a gun to my head, honestly.
Yeah.
But like, as much as I think it's actually two conversations, because the Batman Returns is like, it does something to me when I think about it now,
Yeah.
and it was the beginning of the catapult of me being a person who collects things.
Mm-hmm.
But the feeling I had then of getting a whole ass VHS in my meal,
Crazy.
dude, there's never been better like value. Like, it felt like finding gold,
Dude, it's still hard to explain it to this day. Like,
Yeah.
of how you would just get these toys, and they were good enough. That's what's weird about it, is that they were like still good toys.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And then my best dessert is McFlurry.
yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, if the machine works, that's
Yeah.
pretty undebatable.
Which
I
it
think.
very rarely does.
Yeah.
but-
All right, let's go through William from Action Figure Checklist top 5. He says in no particular order. So he's got on here the Muppet Babies,
Okay.
the McDonald's Muppet Babies.
Nice.
That was like a show where I can remember being a kid and attempting to resist liking it because it says babies in the title, and then it just kind of hits pretty hard.
Dude, that was my battle with like Tiny Toons. The
Yeah.
word tiny in there, I was like, who's tiny? Who you calling tiny?
Yeah, so he's got the McDonald's Muppet Babies. He's got the McDonald's, what are these called? Changeables, which is the kind of transformery ones that we talked about.
Yeah, it turned into like the Big Mac.
Yeah, which they did in 87, 89, and 90. And there's like, I don't even know, several dozen of them.
Yeah.
I remember those being around at pretty much everybody's house too. The Pizza Hut Land Before Time like plushies
Wow.
is on his list. I can tell you exactly what William's age is off of this. And then he's got the Halloween Nuggets, dude.
I love those.
The Halloween Nuggets rule.
They're hilarious.
Which they did in 88 twice, 92, 95 twice, and 98. Yeah, those are Americana.
Yeah.
And then one that we forgot to talk about, so I'm glad that William put it into his list, the McDonald's 1995 Batman Forever cups.
Oh, dude, the one on the left, top left, many a Coke drank out of that.
Yeah, dude.
I still have that somewhere.
I'm gonna look up what these are going for on eBay. I bet you it's really high.
Maybe. I see a lot of people talk about those, but it's essentially like fine china or crystal.
Yeah, break out the good stuff. We got company coming over.
Dude.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on the kids meal stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, like I said, it's just like what a joy it was, and I would imagine there is something like that today for kids who like get to have something. I don't know if there's like stuff.
The whole set, buy it now, $50.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
That's like if you're buying regular cups somewhere. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think they were like I would say like everybody at some point was like impacted by McDonald's toys and the unsung heroes. Legitimately, the unsung heroes. I think something that's pretty fascinating about it right now, like they're really not worth anything. You know that like that you can.
They're in the bin under the table at the show.
Yeah, they're basically like, hey, you know, 10 for $5 or whatever,
Yeah.
which I think is great because it's just an easy way again to like.
I feel like a display of really, really good, clean, like minty ones laid out nicely would hit pretty hard.
Oh, I agree.
They're all relatively the same size, sort of.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And you can get them in the bag, the little baggie that smells like French fries.
Yeah.
So you can get that stuff on eBay because I sold them.
Yeah.
I got a lot of the Spider-Man ones and sold them for like $1 or $2 or something like that. So you can get them mint. So like I feel like a display of them would hit pretty hard.
I agree.
If you went for like the A+, this is the ones that really meant something to me and just made a display out of that, that might be something that I chase.
That might actually be something I chase as well.
Yeah. All right, get on us at Mighty Champions. Let us know what were your favorites. What was your fast food childhood like? Like, this is a very interesting conversation. I want to know, so hit me up at Mighty Champions.
New at 11, buyer beware. A local family is outraged over a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy that they bought for their son. It says a variety of phrases, but the family believes one of them includes a swear word that starts with a B.
It's a little bit of a slower news week this week, but there's still some big stuff to talk about. And the main thing that I want to talk about is that Kyle Peterson is actually, I think, first to report that AEW Jazzwares is donezo. So he is saying that AEW Jazzwares had basically the entire staff was laid off this last Friday. I'm also hearing some reports from some other people, My Damn Toys and some other places, that it wasn't just the AEW department. Jazzwares let off people across the board, which is happening in the economy that we live in, unfortunately. So it is pretty dang likely that we've kind of seen the end of AEW Jazzwares. And personally, I'm not necessarily sad about it because we've seen this coming. We're not blindsided by this at all. And I'm kind of in that headspace where I'm like glad to have had it, you know, rather than like sad to see it go.
Do they just do wrestling or what else do they do?
Jazzwares?
Yeah.
No, dude, they're monsters. They do Pokemon and Squishmallows. That's why the AEW figures have been just not a concern.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They're a mega company.
So they're not going out of, or are they going out of business?
They're cutting employees, but they're not going out of business.
Oh, okay.
They're reducing cost.
Gotcha.
But yeah, as far as the AEW figures go, man, some of my favorite figures ever made. Were they perfect? No, they were not. There's also some crap in there. But like just the Will Ospreay Supreme, any Supreme Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, like the John Moxley, like half my display is AEW Jazzwares figures, and they've done a phenomenal job when they've done their best stuff. To me, this era will be like Toy Biz was to you, or WWF Hasbro was to me, or Classic Superstars. This is going to have it has now a beginning and an end, and it's going to, from now on, will be nostalgia about that thing that happened back then. Is it sad? Sure, I'm sad that people lost their jobs, but maybe somebody else picks up the license. Maybe Jada picks up the license.
Wow.
In which case, I'll go broke.
Which perfectly segues into the next toy.
Yes, it does. So Jada, who just simply doesn't miss, showed off their upcoming, it already went up for pre-order, T-Hawk. My God. What a masterpiece. Like, T-Hawk wasn't my favorite character in the game or anything like that, and he's always kind of a side thing in movies and cartoons and things like that, but this figure Man, it's that one that I always talk about that looks like when you go to sleep, it's going to beat the crap out of all of your other action figures. And Jada just doesn't miss. There's never been a Street Fighter figure that was less good than the last one.
Yeah.
There just hasn't been. They're so good at what it is that they do. All right, let's jump over to McFarlane, who, like, right before we started recording, showed off an Old Man Batman Returns that goes up for pre-order on May 13th. Looks
Awesome.
exceptional.
Dude, I hate it, man.
McFarlane has decided to go out in a blaze of glory, and I'm here for it, but I'm also bummed that I'm not participating in it. Man, because that Batman, there's a lot of Batman Returns figures that exist in the world.
Yeah.
This might stand above all of them.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
Looks like it has a wired cloth cape.
Yep.
Like, oh my God, what a banger. They showed off some other stuff that's going up on May 13th as well, which is, this all got like out of order for me, a new 52 Batman. Which
looks good. Looks like the character.
looks exactly like, who's the artist?
Greg Capullo.
Yeah, it looks exactly like Greg Capullo's art. I don't really care for the new 52 costume. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it, but if I was like ranking them, which we probably did at some point, it wouldn't make the list.
Yeah.
But it does look exactly like it looks in the new 52. They also have the Azrael Batman armor.
Dude, that one is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Holy crap.
I'm a big Nightfall fan.
Yeah.
And this is just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's just crazy how McFarlane said, all right, we got another year on the books. Let's kick out the jams. We'll open up the vault. We'll like hit all these absolute bangers. There is Batman / Deadman, which I think we knew was coming.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
I don't think we had seen it yet though. Which is also on May 13th pre-order. I don't really care for like character crossovers, but it is a good looking action figure for
yeah,
sure.
it's good. It's got the cloth and wiry cape, so that's always nice.
A bunch of Spawn stuff. There's the Spawn Wings of Redemption. That launches on May 11th, so the day that this episode drops. I couldn't tell you if it looks good or bad because I don't know anything about it. There's the Nightmare Spawn also on May 11th. There is the Curse of Spawn also on May 11th. And then there is, I think that's it for McFarlane actually. Okay, jumping over to the more expensive stuff. Mezco showed off a, what do you call this Superman?
Red Sun.
Red Sun Superman, which is available to pre-order now. Looks awesome. Looks really, really good. I don't know how I feel about the Superman figures from Mezco. They're wearing a lot of cloth goods.
Yeah.
And that's not really my thing, but it looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then, let's see here. Mezco also showed off Powerpuff Girls. Look awesome. I don't know if they're fixed onto these like stands or not. I think it might be like more statue than...
Yeah, they look like more like PVC.
Yeah, they might be like PVC statue things, but they look cool.
Yeah.
And then Mondo, we talked about last week that they teased some Goofy movie stuff, and then they showed them off this week. So there is Goofy, Max, and Powerline. They look so cool, dude.
Yeah.
I wish they weren't Mondo. Yeah. Because if they were anything in the affordable, normal price range, I would absolutely swoop them up because I love Goofy movie. I thought about just getting Powerline.
Yeah, what's funny is I guess they're not really... I mean, maybe they just only have like one point of articulation, which is their arms go up and down maybe, but are their heads turning?
Yeah, I don't think they're very articulated because they have replaceable arms.
Yeah.
They have like arms that are bent that you can replace and like different facial expressions and stuff.
Maybe those will be cheaper because they're not super articulated. But
yeah, maybe. But they've got possum hats, different head sculpts, backpacks, the cup with Hi Dad in it and all that kind of stuff. So it gives you options, like display options, but they're not necessarily articulated. But yeah, just takes me back, man. Takes me back. And then the last thing from Jakks Pacific, they showed off a 5-inch King Homer in the Simpsons line from when he gains weight to go on disability. The thing in his hand the drinking bird.
Yeah.
I use that to explain exercises to people. Hip hinges and like deadlifts and stuff. I'm like, you know the drinking bird? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, do that.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, did you have any news that you wanted to get to?
That's it.
All right, that's the news.
Get ready to erupt into primal rage. But be warned, these guys don't just kick butt, they slam it, crush it, and trash it. And now they're even bigger. 4 tasty follower figures take a bite out of their killer appetite. Now even more rage is in your hands with Primal Rage and Super Rage action figures from Playmates.
All right, now it is time for us to get controversial and talk about the toys that we hate that you love. Or maybe not you, the listener specifically, but, you know, popular stuff that, like, we're not, just can't sanction.
Yeah, ready to offend some folks. Not really. Probably not.
Some of it we've talked about before. Some of it, if you've been listening for a while, then you're not going to be shocked to hear us say it. Like, for instance, man, I was just like, when I get up in the morning, I try to put YouTube on like music or just like really. I'm trying to have a long runway to waking up. And I couldn't find anything the other day, and then the Hasbro YouTube channel just had Transformers on, and I was like, okay. And I put it on, and I haven't really like paid attention to G1 Transformers in a minute, and I'm just looking at it and I'm like, man, I appreciate the like sound effects and the artwork and the craft, and I loved it when I was a kid. I just can't. I'm trying to care and I can't. It doesn't do anything for me now. It just doesn't.
Right.
And then I'm like walking through the toy aisle this week, and I stop and look, like really look at the Transformers, and I'm like, let me try to care about this thing that I like loved when I was 5. I don't. I can't. And they're $30 for a small figure.
Dude, their price point is probably of the worst.
Yeah, they're
modern toys right now.
They're offensive. They are taking advantage because their fans, their actual fans, feel the exact opposite that I do. They're hooked, like bought in, and I'm like, good. I'm happy for those people, but the price point is like gouging them.
It's crazy. And they're smaller than ever. Like, or maybe that was how big they were.
It seems that way.
Yeah, they look cheap. That's the thing is, I'm like, I'll look and then I'll look at the price and I'm thinking like, oh, they have it on the wrong peg, and then I'm like, nope, that's exactly how much it costs. No, thank you.
Yeah. I also, as much as I'm a video game guy, I just stroll right past the like Mario
big time
and all that stuff, and I'm like, it should be hitting me, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
I can't care. Like I rarely ever even turn my head.
Yeah, me
in
either.
that section.
Me either.
I just pass right by.
I don't understand that. Maybe it's because it's just like it exists as a video game in your brain, and that's all it needs to exist as, I guess. I don't know, because I'm the same way, where it's like I look at those toys and I'm like, it does absolutely nothing for me. In fact, almost like not repulses me, but it's just this it's a different collecting space. It's the same thing with like people who collect Pokemon. It's like, we're not the same. You know what I'm saying? We're not the same. Like, you know, like your cargo shorts, you know, versus, you know, it's just like, we're not the same, man.
Yeah.
So get out of my way. But yeah, I would say that. Honestly, this is a little bit of a hot take, pun intended, for where I'm going with this. But I think I've come to the conclusion that I just like don't care about hot toys. Like, they're $400. And they're essentially like when people say like, oh, like you buy your dolls, and I'm like, they're action figures, like, but hot toys are like dolls essentially.
I whenever I see a post about the new hot toy, I don't even like zoom in and investigate it.
Yeah.
Why? I'm never going to interact with it. I'm never going to go to somebody's house and it's going to be on display.
Yeah.
The only time I'm ever going to see it is in a glass thing at a store. Who's buying them?
Dude, there is a market for them, but it's a different market.
Guys who work at Google.
Yeah.
Like who's, I don't know anybody that would buy that.
Dude, when I was at Ekman's Toys and Collectibles, or Books and Collectibles, I was talking about the Marvel Studios Daredevil, which is essentially like a Hot Toys-esque character, but because it just is so burned into my brain from when I was young, like I would get that one.
Yeah.
And he had it for like $125 or something like that, which probably like, but then I was like, man, it's funny. Like I like that, but I don't care for the Hot Toys. And then he's like, oh, this is a Hot Toys right here. And it was just like a Mark Ruffalo Hulk, and it was $625. And I was like, I want to break it. Like, I'm like, dude, I just, like, it's weird. And like, even like, you know, I mentioned that Samantha was like, she's like, oh, I love those. I'm like, dude, they're like $300, $400, $500 toys. But they're weird too, because it's like, okay, you can like take their shirt off also, kind of, or like
there's too much likeness.
too much likeness.
Like they don't look like a toy. Like, and which takes me back to Star Wars Black Series. Doesn't look like a toy. It looks like a replication of the person, or the character, which doesn't inspire me. I don't play with my toys anyways, but I want to, if that makes any sense. I want them to feel like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Not that you're supposed to put it under glass with red lasers.
Yeah, and like it's like I'm thinking of like a Hugh Jackman from like maybe Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's just
right
like,
behind you.
Well, but I'm saying like as a hot toy.
Oh yeah.
And
Which
it's just
they
like
do a
he
lot
just
of him.
looks. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And it's just like it looks like old Hugh Jackman, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't know. It's just weird.
Are Hot Toys the ones where I've been seeing these videos recently where somebody's holding a head sculpt and they pull like the lips and skin down to show that it has like skin?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What on earth? Like, are we heading to a point where toys are becoming like sex dolls? Like, why does it need skin?
Yeah.
What on earth?
I don't know if that just again is like maybe that justifies the outrageous like cost of it. Some of them they are big, right? Like they are big. They're essentially statues that can move and that you can like take out the hands or replace the eyes, right? They have like actual individual little eyes that you can switch out. Doesn't do it for me. I really don't understand it, and part of me feels like I wonder if the people that buy them were people that played with toys when they were younger. You know, because it feels like there's a disconnect.
I don't think it is. I think it's older guys like 35 plus that have a ton of disposable income, and they're just doing what we're doing. They're representing things, the movies. Okay, I liked Terminator 2 when I was a kid. Let me pay $800 for this T-1000 that's like mid-exploded, and put that in a giant Billy bookcase with like a spotlight pointed at it.
Yeah.
Here's my question though. Okay, I'm single, right? And I bring a girl into this room that has hundreds of, $25 action figures in it. Or I'm a Google guy, right? When we get in my Countach and we leave the restaurant and we go to my house for the first time and I've got those. What is her reaction? I think it's exactly the same.
No, I that's a really good point, and maybe this is something worth studying. But I think she has a better reaction to this than she does to that.
Really?
Because to me, this is like, hey, this is toys. Because the chances are, if she's in the same age range that you are, which hopefully she is, then...
dude, I'm going the Leonardo DiCaprio route.
There you go. Yeah, he likes him old. But no, when you... I guarantee you, it'll have like a similar effect. The nostalgia will be similar.
Yeah.
I think if she sees some, Ninja Turtles, I think if it was all wrestling, you'd probably be in trouble. Yeah. But I think the Batman or the Ninja Turtles is what's going to help you out.
Because I've had people come into this room that are not toy people. I usually make an effort to show it to people that I think will actually be like, oh, that's really cool.
Yep.
But there was one time where Danielle's family was over, and her sister couldn't be less interested in this sort of thing, right? That's just not her. And I brought, I think, her brother and his girlfriend in here, and her sister kind of just tagged along, and she, for a second, was just finishing whatever she was saying, and then she just sort of stopped in her tracks and was like, whoa, like this is really well organized, and like I can see the like vision here. Or she's not interested specifically in the things, but she was like kind of taken aback by it. I have a feeling if I had a bunch of black bookcases with spotlights pointed down and $3,500 figures, it's... What's wrong with you? Why are you stunted?
I don't even think that, like, again, you would look at any of this stuff and be like, oh, whoa, why do I remember? They would have the same natural reaction that everybody would have, right?
Yeah.
But when you would go through, and if you had like a glass case full of, you'd be better off with statues. But I think if you had the Hot Toys thing, it's just kind of weird because it's reflective of porcelain dolls.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's a
right,
little bit
which
in
is
that
just kind
zone.
of weird. And
Yeah.
if it was video games or if it was like helmets or swords or something like that, like you're probably going to get away with it. But the Hot Toys thing is something that is just too weird for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it for me.
Another one for me is essentially anything Japanese, like
I'm in the same boat.
Gundam,
Yeah.
Pokemon, like pretty much anything from anime or like super hard Japanese. Even though there are aspects of Japanese culture that I'm like obsessed with, that stuff just doesn't really do anything for me. But more specifically, I see this way more on Reddit than I do on Instagram. The straight up inappropriate figures that get an NSFW on Reddit. I don't know if I said that acronym right, but that stuff, I'm like, what's wrong with you? And if you're listening to the show and you're a big time listener and what I just said offended you, kick rocks. Because there's something wrong with you. If you're buying naked girl action figures and displaying them and taking pictures of them and stuff, seek help. Because that's freaking weird.
The other weird part is that they're like in a schoolgirl uniform, which is again like, dude, like it's on the nose, man. Like,
Yeah.
but
I
no,
just can't. That's never ever going to appeal to me in any way, shape, or form.
not at all. But yeah, it's just like that's almost like you're chasing something else. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. And I would say we talk about this all the time about how Austin is essentially like a toyless nightmare, right? That we live in. And how many places have been like almost mirage toy stores where it's like, hey, this place has toys. And then you go in there and it's a wall of Funko Pops or it's a wall of like import Japanese statues or DBZ figures or whatever. And it's just like, I'm going to burn this place to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh my God, I hate all of this.
It has things that would mark it as a toy store.
I think the Funko Pop hatred revolution is here. Like, I think
it's here.
It's here, right?
We're living in it.
And I couldn't be more supportive for it. But I think we also live in a time right now that is like the Funko Pop design is secretly still taking place where popular knick-knack type, like right now, a very popular thing that is like where stores are limiting people from buying them is like the Nido, right?
Yeah.
The little like stuff that you buy, whatever, like that type of crap. Or the other things are just like weird little like the balls that have
The mystery ball.
mystery balls. Like Samantha jumped in on that, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, dude, this stuff is like just straight up. This is what's going to fill the Earth's core.
It's tchotchke crap, and it's hypocritical of us, right? Everything in this room is made of the exact same material, essentially, right? But it is bringing more joy in addition to having to be shipped from China in a cardboard box and be PVC petroleum products. Like it's a little bit hypocritical because I just don't care about that, right? But I also think that the girl who has one of those in her right hand and a boba tea in her left hand, she's not going to care about that 10 minutes after she opens
Dude,
it.
Labubu is the perfect example
Yeah.
of that, right? Like, I don't even know if we talked about that at all on this podcast, which doesn't really deserve airtime, if I'm being honest. But man, like, it's so funny. There's in my parking garage at my apartment complex, I'll walk and there's two cars that are all like they have reserved spots. It's like a Porsche and an Audi. And both of them, I'd like see the people that drive both of them. They're both like probably about the same age, dudes, whatever. Both have Labubus hanging from their rear view mirror. And I'm like, man, like
That's problematic.
the thing is that it's like it crossed over into their threshold. They're probably similar age, like early 30s, but it crossed into that threshold where because they're like higher valued things, right? People were like, "Oh my God, like selling them for $300. I just bought one for $300 or whatever." Yeah. It's essentially a remake of Funko Pop, which is essentially a remake of Beanie Babies, where everybody thought this thing was going to be. So then they mass produced. There's bootlegs of them, of these toys, and then now they're just like the popularity is dead, and it's like, dude, it's so hard. like you don't really see the trend that you're within right now. And then like eventually, I think, because I checked recently where I walked past both their cars just to see, I was like, has it died yet? And then it's like one of them, I think, still has it hanging. And I was like, I'll give him a couple months, and then it's just going to be gone, because they're going to realize, like, I'm going to look up there at this stupid thing and be like, why did I get this again?
Wait, this has actually no significance in my life whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like NFT vibes, right? Where like people were going
exactly.
so crazy over these things.
It doesn't do anything with the trifecta. It doesn't have anything to do with nostalgia. It doesn't have like a Toyotic design. It doesn't do anything for you. Yep. It's just that it's exclusive, or the scarcity, like you said.
Right.
That's it.
And that ties back into the McDonald's thing again, right? Where it's just like, how can we create this scarcity so that it drives up popular demand, and then it just, people go insane. But this is always, like you talked about it with like Pogs. I never knew at all. I never heard that word. I never seen them.
You've typed it in a few times. You might have spelled it differently.
Was this, well, are they Latina? I don't think they are. So no, I didn't. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, whatever those things, those were like POGS, right?
POG, yeah.
Yeah. So I've never heard of that in my entire existence. But then you talked about it and showed me all the pictures of it, and I'm like, oh my God, like this thing, it's been happening since the dawn of toys, essentially.
Yeah, it has.
But now I just think it's worse, because I think because of the reselling market.
It's because it's external forces from outside of toys. Yeah. It's the shoe market, right, which died. It's Supreme.
Yep, died.
It's that stuff that created this trend of invent scarcity out of the thin blue air.
Yeah.
Because the scarcity back in the day, right? Back in the day, the scarcity of baseball cards or the scarcity of Transformers or He-Man or whatever came later, because we played with them or put them in our bike spokes or whatever, and it only left a small amount after the 30-year itch had set in that are quality. Right? It's the reason why Jim Lee's X-Men #1 is valueless, because they mass-produced trillions of them. But X-Men number whatever that has like where Wolverine's adamant is a key, and there's not that many of them that exist because people were reading them and tossing them away. So that scarcity was organic. Modern day scarcity is manufactured.
Purposeful.
And it's gross. And I try real hard to just keep on walking.
Well, I told this on the podcast like several months ago, but I was in the antique mall and looking through the toys, and then some girl like comes around the corner and she's like, "Ooh, are you looking for toys?" I was like, "Yeah, definitely." And then I was like, "How about you?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for some good stuff. I'm pretty new to the toy game, and I'm trying to get into some good stuff." And I was like, "Oh, like what?" And then she's like strawberry shortcake. I'm trying to get into that. And then I was like, "Oh, my girlfriend's wearing a strawberry shortcake shirt right now." And then she's like, "See, that's what I'm saying." She's like, "Yeah, a friend of mine found some strawberry shortcake, sold it for $2,000. So I'm trying to get on that same boat."
God.
And I was like, "Oh, you're trying to resell?" She's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm out here hunting for this stuff." And I wanted to be like, you're at an antique mall. Like, you're not really going to find gas here because they already are reselling themselves. So they know what they have. Meaning that, like, you're not going to find something valuable on the market.
Just put a little more thought into this.
Yeah, it was weird. I was just like, good luck on your quest. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it's really weird. And, like, trying to describe how, like, our attachment to this, I feel like is becoming easier and easier to describe. It's like a lot of the guys on one of the teams that I play on, the baseball team, it's like, I'm like, I haven't yet revealed, like, oh yeah, I do a podcast about toys, and I'm really curious what the reaction is going to be. It's probably going to be like, at first, I'm probably going to get made fun of, like, pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
But I'll crack through that exterior and be like, what I do with everybody.
What did you collect when you were a kid?
What did you play with? What was your favorite toy when you were younger? And then have them talk about it, figure it out, like, oh crap, like, I missed that. Because it's like, that's how you crack through the threshold.
Yeah.
But like, now we just live in a time where it's like, something went popular on TikTok and then just drove it up 10,000% on the market, and then it'll drop 200,000%. Like, and then the landfills will be full of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and Funko Pops are the model for what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We're going to be dealing with those for the rest of humanity.
Oh man, that's what I'm saying. Which, yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Like, it's weird because I'll talk about how I don't like certain things, or I'll like be critical of it, and people will be like, "Ah, you're no fun," or whatever, you know. And it's just like, but I see through the lens, like I see through it.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, and I also hate modern MCU figures. I think like nothing makes me more sick to my stomach than when I walk into a toy aisle and see modern MCU on the pegs, and like even all of them.
I want to disagree with you, but I can't, because they look like Black Series figures. Black Series and MCU figures are the same thing to me. That's not a toy.
Yep.
There's nothing toy about that.
Dude, I don't want a John Bernthal action figure. I really don't. Okay.
You have a vendetta against him.
I stumbled on somebody the other day. I don't remember who it was, but I felt like it was an influential page, and the person was saying like, "Can't do it. I can't do John Bernthal as Punisher," and they were saying Ray Donovan, I think was the dude that did. Who was it?
Isn't Ray Donovan a show?
Maybe you're right. It's Ray Lewis or Ray something.
What are
Ray
you talking-
Stevenson. The
Warzone.
Warzone.
The Warzone.
Yeah, people believe that he was the best Punisher.
That movie is an unwatchable crime against creativity.
Hey, I'd be down for Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Still, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying. So anyway, I'm not the only John Bernthal.
All right,
hater.
those are our figures that we hate that most people like. Well, not most people, some people. I don't know. We're just talking. We're just doing some talking. Get at us at Mighty Champions. Do some talking. Talk about whatever you want. And it doesn't even talk about kids' meals. Talk about what happened in the news. Send us your hauls and your finds and your collections. And other than that, thank you very much for spending your day with us, and we will see you in 1 week. Peace.